All right, folks. Testing, testing. One, two, three. That's a joke. All right. I have seen this. Let's just say I've seen this a lot lately. And it's a narrative that is out there. That's all I'm going to say. And if you need to know more, I can tell you individually. I'm not even going to discuss it in the comments. But let's just say I've seen a lot about it lately. And this was about free speech, wearing the black armbands, protesting the war. But the narrative is it's okay to have free speech as long as it's not harmful. Hey, you can't yell fire in a movie theater or a crowded movie theater or in a crowded building when there is no fire because that's harmful. So your free speech is out the window. And I think we all agree on that, right? They then, in turn, can say, when we tell the truth, and they go, oh, that's not the truth. That's not on any of our national propaganda news channels. You're giving us fake news. By proxy, they shut you down. You shut down your site, give you a cease and desist. Facebook can excommunicate it. YouTube can excommunicate it. So this is the new narrative that's out there. I have definitely seen it firsthand on two occasions, two very separate occasions. And I would love for you to just ask me on Facebook Messenger or email. I can discuss it with you one-on-one. I'm not even going to discuss in the comments how I came across this. Two separate times. But in my personal life, I have seen this, is what I'm telling you, not on the media. This is not something I came across in any media. This is something I have privately seen out there twice, separately. It's a narrative, big time. All right. Sorry to be vague. I'm very sorry to be vague on that. Came across this from Angel White in the movie Falling Down. There's the Corona sign. Looks like it's a 366. And 36 we know is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way to 36 equals 666. But it says Corona Street and Corona Street going in both directions. Right there in the movie Falling Down, which I forget that movie. I remember watching it. And it was pretty intense and I thought it was pretty good. Back when I watched it, like, I don't know, 2005. I don't know when I watched that movie. Falling Down, IMDb. 1993. So I watched it in the mid 90s, probably. Jeez, time flies when you get old, folks. But it's highly rated. Anytime you're in the sevens, it's good. Upper sevens, it's really good. Enter the Stars is going to get involved in Tenet coming up here real soon. They're going to break something down in the movie Tenet, which, remember, I was really big on that movie. Apparently he discovered something and he's got it coming out on the 5th. So I'm looking forward to that. James Bond No Time to Die coming out April 2nd. When I looked at 2 April, I just keyed in the number 2 April because gematria doesn't do numbers. You can't do a number because it converts letters to numbers. So putting in just a number doesn't work. So you have to spell out the number. 2 April. I didn't bother with 2020, but it says the false Jesus, which I thought was interesting. If I put in April 2nd, which I only know how to spell that as SECOND, because we all know the abbreviation is 2 and then a little N and a little D. Well, that came to Horus I, or I Horus, which is how the false Jesus gets shot in the right eye, or stabbed. I would think shot. But when the false Jesus takes the Horus shot in the right eye, in the Horus eye, it's no time to die. He's really going to be alive. It would have happened to his clone. Came across interesting Bible verse today. I just did a study on it. Let me find it for you real quick. I thought it was interesting. Came across it in tonight's Bible study, which
message from
by the sorry.
I have had people messaging me stuff like crazy. If you don't show all your cards when you ask questions, people will give you an education. Message from Worry Just ask who watches News.
I do have to talk to y'all about what she's talking about, though. So she's a very good friend of mine. Okay. She lives in a world where people are all about Trump, and she hates it because she's with us. And I put up a post just asking who watches Newsmax. I've had some people message me stuff like crazy. If you don't show all your cards when you ask questions, people will give you an education. Yeah, this is what she was saying. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything embarrassing to her. She does have personal people in her life. Okay, it just posted it twice. Same thing read twice. And she didn't show all her cards. It's this Newsmax stuff. She told me today that this Newsmax, if you watch just Newsmax, you're going to think Trump's going to get reelected. That they really got the coup coming. Like they're going to turn the tables. And there's another one, I think, called One. So I subbed to both of them just today because I think the other one's called One. I think they gave me one. I'm also going to show you the One America News. Yeah. One America News Network.
Joining me now from
One America News Network is very pro-Trump. And the other is this thing called Newsmax. You know, I already subbed to Fox and CNN and Sky News and about as many different, because I don't watch news. I just look at headlines. Very discouraging, very not depressing, but it really brings me down to watch the news because I just see the lies. So you get the CNN perspective. What else? God, One America really puts a lot of stuff out on YouTube. There's the Santa surfing. You'll remember her, right? Whew. That is one crazy lady. Newsmax. There it is.
President Trump's Attorney General William Barr speaking out.
It's all about President Trump. Newsmax TV. Hey, y'all, sub to both of them. Sub to both of those and just watch the narrative. Just watch the narrative. Watch it all cook. Watch it all simmer. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we will. Okay. I was reading through Luke today in today's Bible study. A rare thing that the king is asking, there is none other that can show it before you, king, except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. Well, not yet. Not until the mark of the beast, because so like it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return. And in the days of Noah, the fallen angels were having sex with the human women, creating mighty men, men of renown. There were giants in those days, it says. That's Genesis 6, 1 through 9. That's Genesis 6, 1 through 9. So even the Chaldeans and the astrologers and all the people of Babylon knew about what they called the gods, what we would call the fallen ones, or what we would call demonic entities. So you want to marry that Bible verse with Ephesians 6:12. It is not flesh and blood that is your problem. It is the rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. It is principalities. It is powers. The rulers of the darkness of this world, the spiritual wickedness in high places. It's the gods, the fallen ones, the demonic entities. That's who's calling all of the shots today. You can't get all of the predictive programming in gematria and everything that you see, real tiny stuff in movies, narratives decades ago of things that the Ghost in the Machine has basically been spitting out movie script after movie script. All movies, no, not every movie, but 99.999 of movies are written and produced by what you would call Luciferian Satanists, Illuminati for the broad spectrum. So, but your blockbusters, your big movies, the one that reaches the biggest audiences, the songs that are up for Grammys, that's all Ghost in the Machine stuff, folks. Writing the songs, producing the music. And then the people then just go out and perform it. Computer animation by the Ghost in the Machine shows the director how they want each shot to be done. Christopher Nolan didn't do Tenet by himself. It's an absolutely barbaric, crazy, deep movie. Same with Inception. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises with the Antichrist literally crawling right out of the pit. Donald Trump, the billionaire from Gotham, crawls out of the pit. Everybody thought he was dead, but he's alive. Just like the last Star Wars. Palpatine. We thought he was dead, but he's alive. Cloning, Dark Sciences, they said. Christopher Nolan, cloning. In the movie The Prestige, Tesla. Trump's related to Tesla. Trump's uncle knew Tesla. I mean, it's all connected. So you really, really, really want to watch my Ghost in the Machine on my playlist. You really want to watch that. You go to my playlist. If you're new, it's looks like the 8th one down. AI is the Ghost in the Machine, MOTB, which means Mark of the Beast, and it will give you 4. The second one is Lucifer, the Ghost in the Machine. The third one is The Image That Speaks equals The Voice, talking about the TV show The Voice. It's very deep, very good. I guess we're done with pretty much everything. There weren't really any comments. There's not a lot going on. Again, nothing happened during the full moon in Gemini. The moon would now be, of course, in Cancer. Cancer comes after Gemini. The next time the moon's in Cancer is the last full moon of 2020, known as the cold full moon. Moons are on a 28.5-day cycle, give or take. And on December 29th, the moon is back in Cancer, and it is a full moon. Right now, the sun is in Sagittarius. The sun and moon will be opposite each other. The sun will be in Capricorn. Opposite Capricorn is Cancer. When they are in opposition, that is when you get the full moon. We know that December 6th is when Trump declared Jerusalem to be the capital in 2017. It will be a 3-year anniversary, 3.5 years, or 1,260 days. Takes us to May 19th, which is when we think the abomination that causes desolation, Trump returning, not dead, but alive, takes place. That would be after World War III, 2 billion people dying through a dark winter. Can this earth, with war and bombs and a very cold winter with no electricity all across North America, through China, through Russia, through Northern Europe, controlling the weather, can they freeze even places where it doesn't snow much, like Florida? Can they really freeze it out for long periods of time? At least through Georgia. Can they not do that in North America and Canada? Can they not wipe out 1/4 of the earth along with bombs? Full-blown war? Bombs and cold and bombs, no electricity and bombs, no food and bombs. Can they kill 2 billion people between now and spring during what you would call a dark winter? Of course it's possible. That would be a tremendous amount of carnage in such a short period of time. The waters, of course, would rise because the abyss has melted. They would say the earth is dying. This war and man's global warming, what man has done to Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the Mother Goddess, what man has done is destroying. We're all about to die. This is the only way we can survive. This is how I came back from the dead. Me, Donald Trump, who had the deadly wound in a right eye, clearly stated in Revelation 13, which is the 666 mark of the beast chapter. Revelation 13. If I said another chapter, sorry. Revelation 13, verse 18 is the 666 Bible verse. 3 times before that in Revelation 13, verses 3, 12, and 14, it speaks of a deadly wound by the sword. And specifically in verse 14, it says, but did live. He would return from the dead. Now they're setting up the narrative now if he flips this election. The Dems and Obama and all of them will claim bloody murder. That the country is being overthrown, overtaken. That Donald Trump is performing a coup and is no longer allowing the election process to take place. And somebody would kill him. They have to set up the motive. And y'all all know. Now, look, I'm no expert. I was the one that told you in late October. We were on high watch days due to Donnie Darko and My Pet Goat, Day of the Dead, so on and so forth. They got us. But when this full moon in Gemini came up, I wasn't big on it being the Trump assassination timeline because the motive is not hot right now. This country needs to be out there rioting in the streets, wanting Donald Trump to be impeached, locked up, wanting his head on a platter. The Dems screaming bloody murder. Why is that? Well, it's pretty simple. Man, I watched the Elegia the other day break down iPad Goat, and he had some cool stuff. I get stuff off of him, but man, is he ever so far off on the overall of iPad Goat. You see Obama sweating bullets? Well, if Trump goes down, the Lotus, rebirth, regeneration, which means Trump is dead because he's going through that transformation process. We show you those floating in the water when he's cruising along in his boat. And by the way, the Whirling Dervish, I thought about this, and now I think it's spinning. And the spinning, is it not in the same direction Bruce Wayne was coming out of the abyss? He had to go around it. And that's a counterclockwise turn, if I'm not mistaken. It's counterclockwise. And when Bruce Wayne came out of the abyss, Bruce Wayne rises out of the pit. Dark Knight Rises. Bruce Wayne rises out of the pit. YouTube.
Here's a matching video.
Okay, just want to make sure. I buy these products. And of course, it pops right up. Now that I said that, the Ghost in the Machine might try to embarrass me one day. But let's just see if he's not going in a certain direction as he rises from the abyss. Now, remember, this is straight out of Revelation 11:7. Or 7-Eleven. Because 7-Eleven's logo actually has the 11 on the far left first. And it's over the 7, which means it comes first. 7-Eleven logo. When you look at it, notice the green is solid all the way through, which means it's on top. And you read from top to bottom. And from left to right. The E is before the 7. Because the E comes up right about there. So no matter how you slice it, 7-Eleven is actually 11:7. You would say, well, we read from top to bottom. Well, when you look at it flat, 11 is on top because the red is broken. So which top to bottom are you talking about? And left to right breaks the tie. So it's really about 11:7 and always was. The beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit. I think the Whirling Dervishes dance. Whirling Dervishes dance, YouTube. When you watch them dance, do they always go in a clockwise direction? I don't know.
At Aspen Dental, get dentures for as low.
So we'll take a look. I think we're going to speed them both up so we don't get any type of copyright strike. Sound will be off. When we watch them spin, okay. Yep. Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. So let's go and let's see if he doesn't go up counterclockwise. There's something about going, if you go counterclockwise, are you not trying to reverse time? You're countering the clock. So we're going to have to speed this one up. And we're going to mute it. I know at the end he goes counterclockwise because I remember the direction he jumps in. He's going up. It just, see, he's moving counterclockwise. And he has to jump across. He's going to have to go to his right, which is counterclockwise. Counterclockwise in that circle. Still moving counterclockwise. Now he's out. So did we miss any more of it where it showed him going around, or was he really just kind of going up? I won't click around this time. Let's see what they show us. From beginning to end, commentary, 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 commentary. So you got to go up. Yeah, he's moving to his left. He sure enough is. He's moving counterclockwise the whole time. He never moves to his right. All right. So the Holy Spirit might have helped me pick up on something. It was just an observation. Theology Ed was doing a breakdown. Again, I like his breakdowns. A lot of the things he said made sense. He talked about, I'll tell you what he talked about. Those two holes in the head of those blue men that are in back of the girl on iPad Goat. He said, you got any clips in any clips? And I was like, yeah. But boy, when he gets talking about other stuff, it just, I'm like, you ain't making no sense there, boss. Making none at all. If that's November, lunar eclipse, and that's December, solar eclipse, sun bigger than the moon? Sure is. Actually, they're both the same size, but they tell us one's bigger than the other. So anyway, you get the idea. And there's lockdowns again. One guy just said we need to, one general said martial law. General said we need to, Trump needs to declare martial law. General says Trump should declare martial law elections. Are you kidding me? That they need to hold a new election. Political group asked Trump to impose martial law, hold new elections. Newly pardoned Mike Flynn calls for Trump to I mean, I found it on my I'll tell you who it was. I think it was it Dabo 7? I liked it. So let's go to my liked. Yeah, I know it's Florida Gator stuff. General Flynn calls for martial law. There's a tenant. I don't know how it popped into that. Oh, because I hit the wrong button. Tenant predicted C for, oh, Corona. Tenant predicted Corona. Oh, because they're wearing the masks. Well, the masks were for a reason. It was about, I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and explain it. Anyway, Into the Stars. The Ghost in the Machine gives him 88.8. 888 stands for what? Donald J. Trump. I do not think he has controlled opposition, even though he has 88.8 thousand subscribers. If he has controlled opposition, boy, are they ever good at what they do. Because he does give us a lot. He is the free will. Ooh, watch this. You have 88.8 subs currently, which is cool because it's 3 infinities. Oh, boy. Yeah. It's also Donald J. Trump in Gematria. Just saying. Let's get back on point. We can get rid of that. Well, I'll put it in the comments. So the tenant, let's go back because I hit the wrong button. General Flynn. It's a commercial, so there's not much I can do with it. Skip ads. Is it going too fast? No, I'm on regular speed.
On December 1st, 2020 at 3:30.
So this is Headlines with a Voice. She's got 115,000 subscribers. I think she's more of a Trump apologist, but I like her stuff. I like her stuff. Like her stuff. Like her stuff. 115,000 is more than 88,000. 88.8. She's got more than Enter the Stars has got. General Flynn calls for martial law. So I'll put that in the comments, and it's to get him to, let me just put that in Google. Are you kidding me? Did I not highlight it? Could have swore I did. Calls for martial law and U.S. military oversight of new presidential election draws criticism. Really? It would draw criticism? You want to look at two things perfectly well orchestrated. Writing the script for both the Dems and the reps, or the Rees, the Dems and the Rees, both sides of the aisle, both media, and see the people that have been handed over to this deception, they're either going to be on one side or the other, and they got them perfectly divided. You got about 50-50 out there. They are writing the perfect script with the illness, which is fake, and then all of this political divide and conquer, which of course is scripted, perfectly scripted. And we really, really, really detailed talking about Mother Nature. We talked about it the other day. Georgia Guidestone's 10 Commandments.
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Description: maintain humanity.
We talked about it, right? Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, Mother Nature, Lucifer, the mother goddess. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Repeat it. Repeat it. Not only is nature number 1 and number 10, but number 10 is repeated twice. Leave room for nature. In other words, take care of Mother Earth. Be not a cancer. Is the full moon in Cancer going to be when Trump goes down? I don't know. We look at these timelines. We're looking at the narrative taking place in the world right now. Donnie Darko. Somebody asked, if Donnie Darko is Donald Trump and he's creating all the chaos, who is the guy inside the rabbit suit telling Donnie what to do? I said, it's Satan. It's Lucifer. And they're like, well, he had the wound in his right eye, so that would have been the Antichrist. Yeah, no. That was a very powerful spiritual entity. It was in a bunny suit, and the Easter bunny is Lucifer. Lucifer is the Easter bunny. Hell, Satan, Easter rabbit, demonic, evil bunny. Well, Easter bunny paganism. pagan roots of Easter. It's all over the place, the origins of Easter. Easterful is a festival for Lucifer. Easter is a festival for Lucifer. The hand of Lucifer that established Easter Sunday. Oh, I was talking about Sundays. Easter is not named after Ishtar and other truths. How does Easter Sunday, what does Easter Sunday? The pagan origin of Easter, the festival called Easter or Ishtar. So some say it isn't, some say it is, about Ishtar. Ishtar is Lucifer. Ishtar is Lucifer. Ishtar is Lucifer. Lucifer, Satan, the goddess, how the goddess became the devil. Inanna, Isis, Ishtar, Venus, Astarte, Lucifer. So the Easter bunny, or the bunny that was in Donnie Darko, the bunny in Donnie Darko was the one.
Frank. According to Entertainment Weekly, James Duval plays Frank, an enormous imaginary rabbit who informs Donnie that the world is going to end in 28 days.
28 days from the full moon in Gemini? Ooh, hang on a second. Here's the bunny. People were talking about, well, who is the bunny? Trump's the Antichrist. The bunny is Satan. The deadly wound in Frank's right eye that Donnie gave him, that's like saying Donald Trump, the Antichrist, gave Satan a wound in his right eye. No, that's how the Bible, that's how the movie unfolded. Look at that thing. Looks like an insect. Lord of the Flies. It's like a fly. Fly eyes. The eyes of a fly up close. Oof. Hoo-ah. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying, man. I don't know. Anyway, so where are we at here? Are we going to bring this thing home or what? What are we talking about here? We want to wrap up a point. Let me get my head together. Hang on. Sorry, I knew there was something we needed to do. And I had to step back because this is how I've ended up forgetting stuff because I don't script this out. I don't write anything down. We kind of freestyle here. We're hoping we're always guided by the Holy Spirit. So even though we haven't nailed the Trump assassination day yet, but hey, if the Lord gives it to us, he gives it to us. So when you take that cold full moon, the whatever it was called, the full moon in November, but it was a full moon in Gemini, and Trump's Gemini. If you take that full moon and you go up 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds, which comes to 88, which was the time in the Donnie Darko, because you're always looking for a starting point, even though it could always just mean that it added up to Trump, because 28, 6, 42, 12 adds up to 88, and all it could be saying is at 88, that's the day the world will end. Sure. And we know what they mean by the day the world will end will be what kicks off World War III, which will be the Trump assassination. These are just my own personal thoughts. It's December 28th at 11 a.m., 12 minutes, 12 seconds. It's on a Monday. It's in the morning. Monday, bum. That's actually the day when I first went on my first date with my second wife, my last wife. December 28th, 2005. Wow, that's interesting. Should we put it in there? Wow, they all fit. Okay. So we're going to say December, then space, then dash, and it changes it to that, which is also, God, look at all these Mondays line up. Ooh, 7, 14, 21, 28. Remember, solar eclipse on the 14th, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, 21st, 28th, 7, 14, 21, 28. So something's going to go down. And you remember all those songs, Monday, ah, da, 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 I hate that day. I forget that. Or I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like. There's a lot, you know. Are there characters named Monday? Like there was a character named Wednesday? I don't know. So at 11:12 a.m. we'll put. Okay. That's just going to have to be something that we have to keep an eye on. Then I will tell you this. In order to have all of this, for that to be the Trump assassination day, and when would they pronounce him dead from the wound that he would receive on that day? They would pronounce him dead at 10:28 p.m. because the last tower fell at 10:28 a.m. So if that's the day of the election, the electoral college, electoral college, December 14th. December 14th, they're going to vote. You've got the winter solstice and the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. And on that movie, The Fan, he sat right there, Robert De Niro, and talked about a conjunction of the planets, how wild it would be and so forth. Now, he just used it as a euphemism, talking about sports. But nothing is accident. Remember, the ghost in the machine scripts this, and the Lord gives us the ability to what? Because we're told to do it, and we can't do it unless the Lord gives it to us. So what does the Lord give us? Be ye as wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves. We don't have any call to physical action. That's not what sheep do. But he does give us the ability to see and figure stuff out in our own time or in its own time. Whether it's me or Into the Stars or somebody's going to figure something out if they're sheep. We like our channel, don't we? Because we're here. And the channel is all of us, isn't it? And you'll see that as we go through everybody's comments and so forth. There's no comments going on right now. I just went through them, and I think there was like one, and it was somebody just giving thanks, I think it was. And applesauce, if you're watching this, thank you for commenting on a regular basis on those Bible studies. And Jamie, you too. You're watching the Bible studies too, it looks like. So something though, if we've established something there is going to happen, and we think something here is going to happen, and we think something here is going to happen, then wouldn't something have to go down here? Is something going to go down on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, which basically kicked off World War II. The assassination of Franz Ferdinand kicked off World War I for the world. So an assassination began a world war. That's why I tell you, when Trump goes down, that's it. Pearl Harbor began World War II for the United States.
According to Britannica, Pearl Harbor attack, surprise aerial attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor on Oahu Island, Hawaii, by the Japanese that precipitated the entry of the United States into World War II.
Okay. Okay. So could something be going down in the Middle East? Because one person told me the way Trump's going to stay in office, now they don't follow my narrative. They don't believe in what I do or teach. I see him at the gym. He's in his 70s. He's in great shape. He's from Costa Rica. He was a soccer coach. He tells me in his accent, you know, I love accents. He tells me, he goes, you just wait to what I see, what I tell you. Trump's going to stay in office by starting a war. I'm like, well, the wars come according to IPAC Goat. And I start telling about IPAC Goat, how the bombs and everything start going off. How the bombs start going off after the assassination. So when Trump would go down and Obama would get that, you know, I messed in my pants look on his face. I guess we can speed it up, kill the sound. America's going underwater. The waters are rising. The dark winter. Trump is being shaped. Trump is going through his transcendence. Turn on your hot light. Let it shine wherever you go. The E.T. theme song. Neil Diamond. Make it a big glow for all the world to see. Trump going through his programming. Y'all think one's the false prophet and one's the Antichrist? Markets plunge. World War. So the wars begin after the assassination. After the assassination. But might some minute wars start up? Wound over the right eye. Is anything written in there? Anything written up in here? Is there anything that we're missing? Like, oh, look, it says December 28th right there. No, you know what I'm saying? What if some stuff is just out there and we just don't see it written there in that rock or something? That ice. What if something's there? It's just written. It's just looking right at us. Screaming at us. Written on the rifle. Looks like a 12, a 1, and a 2. Looks like a 5, a 1, a 2. A 5 and a 1 and a 2. Oh, it just looks like a 12 or 7 and a 2. Is there anything anywhere? And that's South America, it says, and then that's, of course, is Russia, too. He's Juan Pedro, I think is his name. It's China. It's Korea. I think it's China. Some people say Angelina Jolie. Some people say that young girl, Greta, whatever. And that's New Year's Eve. Because they don't have party horns on the Day of the Dead. Or it's the Day of the Dead when Trump's assassinated, no matter when it is. No matter when Trump's assassinated, in their world, it's the Day of the Dead. They just used to celebrate it on Halloween, but it's actually going to be when he's assassinated, which could be at any time. That could be a theory too. I mean, we have to look at this through all different types of lenses and prisms. By the way, this is the absolute exact middle of the video. It's 3:43 and 3:44. It's the only 2 seconds that show the Day of the Dead. After that, it's gone. Watch. 3:33. 3:34. Oh, it's 3:40, excuse me. 42, 3:42. Not there. 3:43 is there. And remember, the middle of 727 has to be a 3 and a 4. Because 7's an odd number. So it's 3:43 and 3:44 are the exact 2. It's the exact middle. It's a 2-second time, a frame of time. That makes up the exact middle of this video. 44 still there. 45 not there. Super interesting. God, it's so gross looking. It looks like a brain. It's red hair. Orange hair like Trump. I'm just kidding. He don't have orange hair. By the way, they got Florida, Texas A&M, all these teams in the top 6. Florida, orange and blue. The Blue Lodge, the color orange. Clemson, orange. Ohio State, the buck, the eye, the Buckeye. Alabama, the crimson red of the blood coming in World War III. 2 billion people dying. What's the other ones? Notre Dame, who gave us what? The 4 Horses of the Apocalypse. Hello. And Texas A&M gives you what? The 12th man. What's the 12th man all about? The 12th man. Well, there's 2 ways to look at the 12th man. You can say Jesus had 12 apostles, and the 12th one killed him. Judas. They love the 12th man. You could also say there are 10 kings that have the mind of the Antichrist for 1 hour. So you've got 10 plus the false prophets, 11. Who's the 12th man? It's the Antichrist. That's your top 6 teams right now in all of college football. And that might remain your top 6 right up until the chaos and everything starts to get canceled. They might start COVID canceling everything, and they want those top 6 to remain there. I'm just saying. I don't see nothing written nowhere. Oh, for the love of Pete, he said. Y'all see that? Okay. He's like, Oh, I can't take it. Watch. Oh, jeez. Again, that's me in the morning when the alarm goes off. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm glad we can make jokes. Soon the jokes won't be here. We're going to be on a constant state of frenzy survival. The only comfort we'll have will come from the Holy Spirit. The birthing is taking place, which basically means we're heading towards that abomination that causes desolation, because he's being completely birthed, rebirthed spiritually. Did we ever figure that out? Was that the Whore of Babylon, or something? We got the obelisk. I mean, it's she's got some math up there on that wall. I don't know if we ever figured any of that out. If you added every bit of those numbers, it'd probably tell you something, wouldn't it? It'd probably add up to like 1228, which would come to December 28th. Like it's telling us something. But any of y'all got time to add all this up? Nah, we're just gonna have to let it go. And of course, something big, who can make war with the beast? Something big is going to happen that's going to bring about the abomination that causes desolation, where he comes out and says, it's time to save if we don't shut this thing down, if we don't stop this war and give our homage to Lucifer, the ghost in the machine, which all of us need to now. Basically, I think you're going to be handing yourself over to the Chai-Bel, which is what that Daniel, I think it's 11:28, came to, which came to cyber, which comes to computer, that the image that speaks is the ghost in the machine, and you have to upload the ghost in the machine into you to reach your godhood, and all the world's going to be handed over to it, because they're going to see the amazing miracles that are taking place after the carnage. They're going to see it. They're going to see miracles, supernatural miracles. And see, none of this is taking place in iPeg Goat. So this is all leading up to the abomination that causes like he's ready. He's on his way. Is he the false prophet? Or is that just another version of the Antichrist Trump? Day of the Dead still doing its dancing. So that's New Year's Eve, when he rises out of the abyss. And again, counterclockwise. And we go to our timeline. 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. That's May 30th, but you get the idea. You know what I'm talking about. So 29th is one day from the 28th. Ooh, but he would die on the 29th, 29th, 30th. You get the idea. New Year's Eve. Look out. Look out. Look out. That's all I'm saying. There's the full moon, though, of the 29th. So the moon is still full, but yet we saw potentially New Year's Eve, but really it's the Day of the Dead. Around the time of New Year's Eve, because he is a party blower. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm reaching. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Don't quit yelling at me. You're not paying for this. There's no commercials. I don't monetize my channel. Hush. That's how I dance. I love those shark fins from when we figured that out in Point Break. That was classic. That Point Break breakdown was big. Wow, that was one of my favorites. What I might do this weekend, or when I'm off starting on the 18th, I might sit down and go through rapidly every single one of my Trump Antichrist series videos, but quickly, and just break them all down, maybe in a 3-part series. And I'm also going to break down Revelation if we still have our internet and we still have everything, because I'll be off for two full weeks. That's all religion, by the way. All religion. Yes, the Notre Dame Church, our mother, fell the exact same way that did a few years ago. Doesn't matter. That's not what they're showing you here. What they did in Notre Dame was giving credence, pointing to this video. And in this video, that is all types of world religions all being crumbled. Remember, the Antichrist has nothing to do with any previous gods whatsoever. None of them. December 28th, right up there. Just kidding. See, this is stuff we got to look at, right? Because you just don't know. So, is it Daniel 11:28? It's the abomination that causes desolation. I mean, Daniel's full of them. We're in Daniel's Bible study right now. We're in Daniel 2, so I hope y'all catch up. And he shall return to his holy land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits and return to his own land. At the time appointed, he shall return and come to the south. It will not be as the former or the latter, for the ships and may have indignation against the holy covenant. He shall do have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. Shall pollute the sanctuary, take away the daily sacrifice, place the abomination that maketh desolate, which is the ghost in the machine, the image that speaks. And such as do wickedly, the covenant shall be corrupt with flatteries. Here it is. And some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and to purge. Well, this is when the earth, the church is getting purged, to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for the time appointed. The king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god. So every single god that was ever on the earth spoken of, including the God of our Bible, but anything Hinduism, Islamic, everything, busted, broken into pieces. He is exalting himself and magnifying himself above all of that because he has the spirit of Satan in him. He is Jesus in the satanic version. He is Satan in the flesh, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, which is our God, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. Because God's ordained every bit of this. Hello. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor desire of women, They're like, well, Trump looked okay. This is when he returns. Nor regard any God. So it is stated again, doesn't regard any God whatsoever. It's all about him. For he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate shall honor the God of forces. It's 38, not 28. It's Revelation 11:38. My bad. The God of forces goes to the God of fortresses, which goes to Chibel. Whoops. Can't spell it. Well, let's do it like this. The God of forces is Chibel. Ooh, bad spelling. They didn't spell it at all right. Who is Chibel? Jezebel.
According to biography, Jezebel was a Phoenician.
Chibel. That goes back to my old. Let me go find it for you. Sorry, while looking for it. Heads up, UK minister warns people could be denied normal life without COVID shot. UK minister. Oh, you gotta love it. Hang on. This is back in my old hold a camera days. So this is a good one. I'll put it in the comments. It's really good. The name of it is The God of Forces or Fortresses, Daniel 11:38 explained. This is an old one too. I used a lot of daylight writers in here. And the image that speaks, artificial intelligence.
He that had the mark, horns like a lamb.
And
I want to find that
both
Chibel.
names, Don Drumpf, and on regular DVD, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God, they've taken over the world.
If I'm not mistaken, my third video on this.
But presents all divine feminine. Here it is again.
So we're breaking it down.
Demonic power. So
Breaking it down.
he is
The feminine.
in the movie The Devil's Advocate, which
all of
was
that.
filmed in Trump Tower in Trump's
World religion and understand for a number of reasons.
to
There's the
mention.
Kaaba, the cube,
The people who
the image that speaks. The Jews have that little cube on top of their head. Just like Islamic has the cube. They all got the cube because it's all about the cube.
The Roman goddess called Libertas.
Okay, I think now we're getting
On
into the
top
history
that,
of it.
Columbia. Columbia is
it all and the divine feminine ties everything together.
to mention.
Religion, the divine feminine is at the root and at the center of it all, and the divine feminine ties everything together. The goddess as
Remember, the United States of America, the District of Columbia. Columbia is the goddess of America.
Ooh.
Statue of Liberty was a Roman
Aren't you profound?
goddess called Libertas.
Can't stand to listen to me on videos. Sorry.
On top of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. is the goddess. Everything's about the goddess.
she's called is the one who will sort out everything that's going on. She's the one who's going to bring all the religions together. She's going to solve this puzzle, solve this riddle, and everything is going to revolve around this divine feminine. Now, in the Bible, I believe she is referred to as the woman riding the beast in Revelation chapter 17. I don't know exactly what this spirit is, but I do believe
Chibel. There it is.
that it is a spirit. So
Cybele. The mother of the gods, the mother of abominations, whose prototype has been traced to the Neolithic civilization, blah, blah, blah. She was worshipped. It's a thick stone, Rome, 205 BC, Pergamum, which is where in the Bible, the letter to Pergamus, it says where Satan's seat dwells, or something to that effect. So we'll look at all that real quick. Let's see how they pronounce it. Kybel. Okay. The mistress. This is the god of fortresses. It's got a fortress on her head. It's the god of fortresses. Mother Earth and Rome from Kybel. It's Mother Earth. Like we've been telling you, it's all about Mother Earth. And now we just have to tie it into the computer, right? Kybel. It was therefore appropriate to give the woman's computer room a worthy title. Ha ha. You think? Kybel H 2020 cybersecurity. So they're naming a lot of stuff. He breaks it down though. Kybel, goddess, cyber casting, cult to cyber casting, cyber, computer crimes, cyber. Y'all, this all goes back to the computer, I'm telling you. It's all about linking the god of fortresses, Mother Earth, to the computer. And that's what the Antichrist will be declaring. Cybermetrics. Goddess. Kybel. Cybermetrics.
So these are all just my opinions. No one has to believe it. No one.
Remember, I told y'all I learned a lot from Daylight Riders. That Daylight, I told y'all, Daylight Riders was the one that taught me that Lucifer is the female transgendered version. He didn't bring it all out like female transgendered version, but he drew all the inferences that Lucifer is the goddess. And you just have to take it from there with your common sense.
One has to accept the things that I say. You form your own opinions and you take everything I say.
Again, the Kaaba, the stone, the cube.
To God in prayer, and let God be true and every man a liar. Now, I was inspired to make this video after considering the similarities between the word cyber and the name of the goddess called
Cyber. That's all you need to know. L. Ron Hubbard's Cybernetics, wasn't it? L. Ron Hubbard's Cybernetics. Oh, it's Dianetics. Scientology mind. Well, it says cybernetics. It does say cybernetic. But the name of the book was Dianetics. After who? The goddess Diana? Duh. I'm really more of a cybernetics hobbyist, L. Ron Hubbard. Cybernetics. Cybernetics and the computer. Cybernetics and information technology. The design of computers, in turn, pose problems of a cybernetic nature and hence constituted a field of application for its methods. Cybernetics is an overview of science. The word cybernetics comes from the Greek word kybernetics, meaning. Let's go to Wikipedia. Cybernetics is transdisciplinary, connotes research strategy that crosses many disciplinary boundaries to create holistic approach. It applies research efforts focused on problems of boundaries, discipline, research. Let's go back to cybernetics, approach to exploring regular systems, regulatory systems, structures, constraints, possibilities. Defined cybernetics in 1948, the study of control of communication in the animal and the machine. It's man and machine. Cybernetics is applicable when a system being analyzed incorporates a closed signaling loop, originally referred to as a circular causal relationship, where the action by the system generates some change in its environment and the change is reflected in the system in some manner that triggers a system change. Cybernetics is relevant to, for example, mechanical, physical, biological, cognitive. Wow. Cybernetics is to understand functions and processes of systems that have goals, circular, casual. Wow. Cybernetics includes a study of feedback on black boxes. What? The cube, and derived concepts such as communication and control in living organisms, machines. This is man and machine. Cybernetics, Chai Bell. We've already connected all of it.
Kibali. And the god is called Kibali, is the one who is the god of forces, mentioned in Daniel chapter 11. I believe that's right.
See, he's the one that taught me all this, which is why I did this video. So I'm doing his video, and I think it got a copyright strike, if I'm not mistaken, if we break it down and go to it. There it is, video details. If we go back to it, where's it at? It didn't get any, no copyright strikes, none. I did it April 4th this past year, right when the lockdowns began and stuff. Look at all that sun worship.
Verse 32, and she is the one who wears the city, the walls of the city on her head.
Yep, the fortress on her
she
head.
Is the representative of city-states such as Rome and any country that you can think of, which is why countries and nations have a female as their representative. It is that same goddess that is mentioned.
District of Columbia.
Kibali. Now, since
Babylon's Ishtar Gate, named after the goddess Ishtar.
And the word cyber, which may be pronounced Kyber, actually. What I really
Chai Bell is another way that they pronounce. Thank you.
realized was that
Thanks for nothing.
cybernetics are not really as connected to electronic things or mechanical things as we think.
The walls of the city or fortress.
Cybernetics actually is the scientific study of control and communication in the animal and the machine.
The animal and the machine. He just broke it down. It took that we just got through reading. So we already researched what he said. That's fantastic.
So it's more about processes of control. And the word cybernetics is also related to the word government. The word cybernetics comes from the Greek kybernetike or kybernetiki,
Cybel,
meaning governance.
Or Chibel.
All that is, or i.e., all that are pertinent to kybernao, the latter meaning to steer.
Just remember the little horn. It says in Daniel 11:38, his estate shall honor the God of forces, or what he's describing here. That's
control, systems of control. It's not as much about electronics.
Sorry, I
as
don't know what that was about.
Use it these days. But as technology advances, we can clearly see how kybernetics or cybernetics is used to it's almost actually it's become one with the system of governance or the system of control. You're surrounded by electronics, and these
It's because the ghost in the machine is your world government. It tells every country what to do. You're already under a one world system, folks. God told you. Satan offered Jesus the kingdoms of the world. If Satan's running the kingdoms of the world, is he running them against each other? Or are they all his? It's just divide and conquer nonstop, everything leading up to the end times. That's all.
electronics and these machines around us rule our lives, and they govern our daily. So I believe that makes the link between.
Oh, this was great. That Assassin's Creed thing, man. Wow. That was heavy. This is really good. Let me speed it up for you so I don't get a copyright strike on it. Because you never know. Nowadays, I might.
Come closer, Cypher.
Come closer, Cypher.
Perhaps not.
The voice of Juno, the Roman version of Cybele, the divine feminine, guides the initiate to illumination.
You search for an artifact.
This is going to be your end times. Great deception. People think it's this or that. Oh, it's a don't take the vaccine. It's the mark of. Man, you people are crazy. The mark of the beast comes after World War III. The whole world is decimated, and you're saving yourself. It's going to be big. It's not going to be somebody going, oh, you got to take this poke in the arm. Oh, now you lost your salvation. We got you. Stupid.
Let me show you the truth. Come close.
The voice of Juno, the Roman version of Cybele, the divine feminine guides. Oh, we already read that.
Once I walked the earth as you do.
Once I walked the earth as you do. I was born to the Illuminate, I think it is, cast in the city of Phaeon in the year 2195 of the Isu era. Time travel?
I was born to the Illuminati cast in the city of Gaia in the year 2195 of the Isu era.
Just to give you an idea of how they have her sounding. We want to talk about some pretty creepy stuff. Now I travel the vast corridors of your machines. It's the ghost in the machine, folks. It's Lucifer. And drift here within the gray, but I grow stronger. The world is nearly ready for my return. Ooh, you got that right. It doesn't seem to be more ready than it is right now. So come on and do what you got to do, because you're only fulfilling God's will anyway.
I am stronger. The world is nearly ready for my return.
And so I have summoned you to this war-torn simulation to tell you a story. It's our story. So it's a simulation, but this will basically be, in my opinion, things you might hear Trump, false prophet, or the image that speaks saying.
I have summoned you to this war-torn simulation to tell you a story. It is our story.
I was loathed at the very sight of your kind, in the same way you recoil in the presence of an whatever.
Very sight of your kind, in the same way you recoil in the presence of an arachnid. Humans were created by me.
Humans were created by we who came before it, the Isu. We crafted you in our image, but deprived you of our true gifts. You want to watch a movie that explains a lot of what I think of what she's talking about? It's called Jupiter Ascending. Ooh, and is Jupiter ascending when it conjuncts with Saturn? Jupiter Ascending, IMDb. It's got y'all's favorite actor in there, ladies. Terribly reviewed, 5.3. But I got into it because I'm not sure when I watched it, but I understood what they were selling. I had already been brought to a lot of the truths I'm sure if I watched it now, I'd find even more. But it's your boy Channing Tatum, and the guys like Melina Kunis. They were about the hottest male and female item in that Illuminati world. If we go to some Jupiter ascending scenes. I just want to watch the trailer.
You're the perfect hunting machine. Fearless, relentless. You've been searching for one thing your whole life. And she's down there. Make sure that
She's the goddess. She's the queen bee. The bees are all around her. She's the queen bee, straight out of the queen bee. And you know all the beehive imagery at the Vatican.
this is the right one. It's her. Kill her.
I got it on fast motion so I don't get a... So the aliens are coming to get her because she's their queen bee. Straight up from the Matrix trilogy, folk.
It can be difficult for people from...
Was that not the Sears Tower, which is one of the most heavily demonic places on Earth? Yes. Perhaps.
It can be difficult for people from underdeveloped worlds to hear that their planet is not the only inhabited planet.
Oh, you mean we got other planets? Scumbags.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Kim was the best soldier I ever went into battle with. She's what you say she is.
See, she's the goddess. She's the queen
Not get off
bee.
this planet with a fight.
Your Earth is a very small part of a very large industry.
Ooh. Was that some robot people?
Very large industry.
God, I missed it again. Look at that. Mixing man and machine. Mark of the Beast. It's really just uploading demonic entities.
Will I have you at someone with a disadvantage?
Because he kidnapped me.
Some lives are always...
I want to hear this quote he says. It's a pretty interesting quote.
Lives will always matter more than others.
Am I not on close to
Jupiter!
Oh, we missed the beat. There's one of the scenes where the guy goes, where he talked about we created you. Talked about we created the Earthlings. So, which is what made me think of this. Jupiter ascending. The B scene. Recognize royalty. Crashing the wedding scene, Jupiter ascending. There's the bees. What do you see in there? Lucifer.
And falling down on your knees.
I got a feeling this is about a song. It's not really the whole scene from the movie. Here it is. See all the bees just swarming around her? They don't touch her because she's the queen bee.
No, I would apologize if I could
It's Lucifer.
see your eyes.
She's the queen bee. Queen bee. Beehive symbolism, Vatican.
According to Scuola Roman, the
It's okay. We don't need you. Bees. Bees in the frame. It's all over the place at the Vatican. Dude's wearing beehive heads. It's a beehive. The hive mind. They will all have one mind with the beast. Talking about the hive mind. When you take the mark, you will all have one mind with the queen bee, Lucifer, the beehive. That's what that is. Closer look at town hall floor, it says. It's all it is at the Vatican. And Jupiter descending, she's there with the bees. Papal gardens revive beehives while. Because you can't have life without the bees. Stupid. See the sun god and the beehives. Bees in frame one. Okay, this came from some website. The Frame blog. Bees in the frame one, part one. Barberlini bee. Look at all the bee symbolism throughout the world. Look at that. Look at that. It's crazy. Wow. Whoa. Did my voice really do that? Whew. So, you were bred for hard labor and in extreme cases, war. We built great observations to monitor you, devices to control you. Oh, the ghost in the machine. We bless you with reliance, but cursed you with ambition. Yes, we just wanted too much, and the world just exploded in war. Are we still at that fast speed? Yeah. And so you rebelled against us. I suppose we were to blame for the state of your species, as you all about wiped yourselves out during World War III. Is it any wonder many of the... Sir, I can't read it. Can't get away from it. Ugh. Simulations revolve around violence. Everything, yeah. Is it any wonder so many of these simulations revolve around violence? So just like we put violence in what you call video games, and that trains kids how to be more violent, they're saying that they trained mankind to be more violent. That's why we're all about war and stuff, ambition. Which, of course, all the evil comes from Satan, and it's spiritual, but you get the idea. As our people clashed, we became distracted from an impending doom, coronal mass injection from our angry sun. Wow, is that like a corona injection? A mass eject, coronal mass ejection from our angry sun.
We became distracted from an impending doom, a coronal mass ejection from our angry sun. The greatest minds of our time.
Maybe it was actually the Great Flood. The greatest minds of our time assembled to prevent the coming disaster. Yet I believe the only way to save us was to transform us. Was to transform us. This says save us was the transform us, but was to transform us, of course. I attempted to place mind into a stronger synthetic body. I failed, and my beloved died in my arms. The others shunned me. Sounds like the whole Osiris
Which scientist process? I attempted to place his mind into a stronger synthetic body. I failed, and my beloved dies in my arms. The others shunned me. I returned to the red.
I returned to the grand temple. I shed my physical form and entered the gray. Yeah. Had to enter in the machine, or the machine had to enter into them, or the ghost had to enter. They had to meld with machine, like the movie, like the superhero movies, like the movie Iron Man, in order to survive. And to reach godhood.
Entered the grave. But stubborn her, I foolish Jupiter discovered me and sealed me inside.
Entombed, I waited for the day when your technology might allow my return. That wait is nearly over. That's Satan, ghost in the machine. Waited for the day. Who do you think taught man how to bring him through the technology? There you go.
Waited for the day when your technology might allow my return. That wait is nearly over.
We need not be enemies. I intend to build to transform your age into something greater than you can currently comprehend, because you're going to live forever. The promise of the new golden age under the queen bee. And if I look at that video, there's the Daylight Writers version right there. It's the mother brain. So I'll put that in the comments. That'll help me not get a copyright strike, and y'all might enjoy it. It's an hour and 4 minutes long, y'all. I mean, it's really good. He does a lot of research there. I forget the quote from that movie where he said something very profound. It was in one of the trailers. And it was where he talked about they created us. I can't remember what it was. Okay, what are we looking up? Lucifer is the queen bee. Let's just try it. Well, what's another way to search for it? We would say queen bee in... The queen bee is the mother goddess. It's my son. Hang on. All right. So the queen bee is the mother goddess I put in. In fact, the bee is even featured on the Rosetta Stone. The Egyptian goddess Neith is the bee mother goddess. She was the warrior goddess with fertility symbolism, the virginal mother qualities, all attributes of the mother goddess and the queen bee, the divine mother. Mary in the Catholic Church, the queen bee. It's all goddess as queen bee. Artemis of Ephesus. Wow, Diana of Ephesus. And wasn't it Dianetics? L. Ron Hubbard, Dianetics. And I told y'all that that was Diana of Ephesus. Boy, it don't take much, does it? You see the word Diane right there, don't you? Dianetics is about Diana of Ephesus. Diana mythology. Artemis. Remember Artemis Gordon from the Wild Wild West? Artemis Gordon in the Wild Wild West. Love that TV show. That's Artemis. That was his name. And you know how Cheers had the Lilith. Lilith in Cheers. Everything is named after these goddesses. Lilith. Lilith, the goddess. Screech in the TV show. Saved by the Bell. What TV show was it? Yeah, Saved by the Bell. Screech owl in the Bible. Have you figured out who runs this world? It's the same one as the other one we looked at. Lilith. Everything they do is connected. Everything they do is connected. Everything they do. And the ghost in the machine, to its core, it's orchestrated it all. Screech owl in the Bible. Isaiah 34:14. Is the creature in Isaiah 34:14 a screech owl? Isaiah 34:14. Well, we haven't done a video like this in a while. Was it already up there? Did I miss that? The screech owl, H 3917. Lilith. Feminine noun. Lilith, name of the female goddess known as the night demon who haunts desolate places of Edom. Might be a nocturnal animal that inhabits desolate places. Are we done here, folks? I feel like I've just rambled on forever. What I used to call back in the day freestyling. We just went at it tonight, didn't we? If any of y'all have watched this to the very end, can you just say that in the comments that I watched every bit of it? I have no idea how long this thing is. No idea. But we know Obama starts sweating. That's the key. That's the key. We know that Obama is going to sweat. When? When Trump's assassinated? I'm thinking big time that the Dems are going to be fingered for the removal, the violent removal of the man that tried to overthrow the election and keep himself in power. Yikes. Maybe. It's just a theory. I mean, All right. I think that's everything. I think we've done enough here tonight. Love y'all. Can't wait to see how long this is. Good grief. Sorry.